It's a beautiful day. Flip this real quick so y'all can see how beautiful it is out here. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to get into this message real quick. You guys, this is for you service drivers out here. If you, I got a cough drop on my mouth, by the way. If you have driven or still drive for Uber, Uber Eats, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, Amazon Flex, any of these companies or services. If I missed any, it applies to you if you either drive somebody in your car or you're delivering food or any other services, packages, whatever, groceries, Instacart, whatever. I know for a fact that in the Uber app, you guys, there is a safety feature. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why you guys need to look for the safety features in your apps for the company that you work for. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why is because it's too many stories out here about drivers coming up missing, dead, murdered, whatever. Or let me take that back, unalived. Okay? Apparently today you have to say unalived. Okay? But some of them being assaulted, you name it. And it's scary now. I personally have never done the service where I had to give somebody a ride, but I know plenty of other people who have. I have delivered, though, packages, food, stuff like that, groceries, but not have anybody in my car. For those of you who have people that you're transporting in your car, it's even more crucial for you guys to definitely make sure that you know the safety feature in the app. In the app, for sure, I know in Uber, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there is a safety feature. You click on it. I think it looks like a shield. I can't remember. It's been a while, but it should still be there. And you can have the option to allow people to follow you and track your ride, meaning people who know you can track your ride. They can know your location and everything at all times that you're out there active in the app. Okay? Well, only when you're active, as far as I know. And also there's a feature, and I only know this because I accidentally clicked on this when I was putting air in my tires at a gas station, and next thing I know it, I'm getting a message in the app, and they're like, is everything okay? This is ADT. Okay? Before I could even respond, I mean it, like seconds later, they're like, we're gonna give you a call, because I didn't respond quick enough. And I mean it, it was like literally like seconds later, it seemed like. They called me up and they're like, ADT, is everything okay? And though this caught me off guard and I was like, what in the world? I also was delighted because I never knew that feature was there. I honestly didn't. I knew that I could have people track where I'm going, you know, people that I know, and you can select who it is, you know, that track where you're going. You can even take them off at some point if you don't want them any longer tracking where you're going. But, you know, I told the lady, oh, I'm fine. And she said, okay, good to know, because she said if we didn't hear back from you at all, if you didn't answer the call, they were going to dispatch someone out. Now, I didn't know if they were going to dispatch out an officer, a police officer, or if they were going to dispatch out one of their ADT people, security people. Either way it go, that's a great safety feature. At no cost to you as a driver, okay? It's already included in the app. I can't vouch for the other driver apps. Amazon, they do have a help feature. However, far as I know, it doesn't respond in the same way when I checked it out, okay? But they do have a help feature. But I like that one for Uber. You guys, I've heard stories, like I said, more recently today, I heard a news story in Florida. A A lady came up missing. She was a driver. I don't remember if it was for Uber or DoorDash. And they found her body in pieces in bags. That's horrible. That's horrifying. Okay? But it's not the first time I've heard some crazy news stories like that. I've even heard about a lady who was an Uber driver. She picks this guy up from his girlfriend's house. He asked her to cancel the ride, and never do that. Never do that. If they're in your car, do not cancel that ride if they're in your car. Even if they're outside of your car, until you have left that location, do not cancel that ride until you have left that location and they're not in your car. Because if you cancel that ride while they're in your car, it gives the impression to the app that you did not pick that customer up or that person up, and that you're not even doing a job, and it won't track or trace anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it really should. This lady was told to cancel the ride. Guy had a gun up to her head, and she's like, "What are you doing, man? I have kids." He didn't care. He said, "So do I." He had her drive to some desolate, isolated location, and he killed her there. But he took her life, but he only took her life after he had her transfer money out of her accounts into his. He got, they found him, of course, and prosecuted him and everything. However, it's only because his girlfriend gave him up, and I think he even used her app or her account to book the ride. Okay, so that's why she gave him up, because she wasn't going to take the fall for that murder. Okay, sometimes they never find the murderers. So listen, if somebody even has a gun up to you, the likelihood, because I keep hearing stories about people holding people hostage with guns and they still kill them even after these people follow all their instructions. Value your life enough to understand that if somebody is brazen and bold enough to put a gun up to you to commit a crime in some form, they're likely going to take your life. You know why? If you can see their face, you can hear their voice, they can be identified. They are not going to let you go just because you follow everything they ask you to. No, they're likely going to take your life because they didn't care about your life in the first place when they decided to show up and put a gun up to you, and you can see their face and hear their voice, where they can be ID'd. Okay? And you don't know if somebody's on drugs or what, but it's better to fight. Now, if you're the driver and they're the passenger, you could drive erratically. 9 times out of 10, they're not in a seatbelt if they got a gun up to your head. They're not, 9 times 10, they're not in a seatbelt. You are. Drive that car fast. If it were me, I would drive that. I'm gonna tell you, you don't have to follow this advice, but if it were me, I would drive that car fast. So fast. If I know that I'm not gonna hit anybody also though. If I know I'm not gonna hit nobody. I go drive somewhere when I see there's nobody in the way. I would pick up speed, drive so fast, and then hit those brakes so hard randomly that they go flying through that windshield. You see what I'm saying? Don't give these people an opportunity to think that they have control over you in the situation because they have a weapon. You have a weapon too, your vehicle. And if they're not in a seatbelt, guess what? Guess what? They probably not going to make it, or they're going to get injured enough to where you can take them out, get away from them, whatever. Do not cancel the ride. You know what I'm saying? Or at least pretend to, or, have yourself a weapon as well. Okay? If whatever's legal in your state, mace, or In some states, it's not legal for you to have it, but if it's legal in your state, have mace and have it right, waiting right there to get them in the face. Because I said, if they put a gun up to your head, 9 times out of 10, they're close enough to do so where you can get them in the face. Um, if in your state people are allowed to be licensed to carry, even if they're not licensed to carry, like in the state that I live in, sorry, then go do what you gotta. Sorry, go do what you gotta do. This pollen getting me this spring season. Go do what you gotta do. Go get licensed and go carry, even if it's just something really small, something enough to do what it needs to do to allow you to get away. Forget all that being scared. Carry what are those hunter's knives or whatever, the folding ones? Something, anything. Carry a boat horn. I used to carry a boat horn. In fact, I think I still do have one. But don't, whatever you carry something in some form, but don't allow yourself to be a victim. Drive to a police station. I'm telling you, because too many times I hear about stories where somebody, they put a gun up to them and order somebody to do something, and then they get killed even after they followed all the instructions. Because why? It was their intention to kill them in the first place. Don't ever assume that, oh well, if you cooperate, they're gonna take your life. If you can see their face, hear their voice, they're probably gonna take your life. Even if they got a mask on, it's no guarantee that they're not gonna take your life. So if you have children or somebody that is dependent on you, and you value your life enough to say, I'd rather fight for my life than to concede out of fear. And it's easy to be in fear. But the only thing you truly need to fear is God. Okay? You should only be God fearing. But if you've been a good person, not perfect, but a good person, and you've been, really trying to do your best out here, and you ain't been doing no harm to anybody, trust in God to have your back. And put that fear aside if you can. And do what you can. Clear your mind. Allow yourself to think clearly if you can. That's hard to do in a situation like that. But God will even speak to you and tell you what to do. I know people personally who have heard things in their mind, and it was instructions. I have myself, and it was instructions of what to do in scary situations, and it literally ended up saving their life or sparing them from some kind of ridiculous situation or crazy situation. Okay. Whatever it is you believe in, know that there is a divine creator or a higher source higher than yourself, that if you can just for a minute clear your mind, calm your mind, try to remove the fear, you will get instruction on what to do. Okay? Be prayerful also. Be prayerful. Whether you believe or don't believe in a God. Because at the end of the day, you don't have anything to lose by praying for your safety. Because every day that you get out here, you're risking your lives. Okay? There's a lot of good people out here, but there's also some devious people out here. And they don't care anything about you. They don't care anything about the fact that you have a family, a significant other, a pet, nothing. They don't care what you've worked for, hard for. They don't care. They're in desperate situations or they're not in their right mind. So I wanted to say that because a lot of people like myself didn't know those safety features were in those apps, and they didn't even know where to look. So I figure if I can do my part to, put that information out there, throw some safety tips out there, it could possibly save somebody's life. Something else you guys need to know, and I was told this by a friend, the Uber app is always listening. It's always listening. And they were driving some clients. They were driving some customers. And the children in the back with the parent, they kept screaming. You know how kids, they scream and yell and they're playing and stuff like that. Also, they said the parent was on the phone with somebody arguing and yelling. And as annoyed as they were, before they could even address the client themselves about the screaming and yelling that they were doing, arguing with somebody on the phone, the app, the Uber driver app, asked them, hey, is everything okay? They did. Is everything okay? If you even sit in one spot for too long, like let's say you sitting somewhere, I know for a fact one time I was sitting somewhere for, uh, it was past 5 minutes at least. 5 to 10 minutes I was sitting somewhere because I was trying to figure something out. And the app asked me, hey, is everything okay? I've had two different apps to do that. Okay. So you have an opportunity also um, to also yell for help or something. You know what I'm saying? And the app may very well respond because a lot of these apps, they don't tell you this, but they're listening and they're monitoring, you know, as you're working. I can't say the app would do that if you're not active in the app, but I can say I know it will do this if you are active in the app based off of my experience and experience from a friend. Um, but to be sure, look into this. Google it or go to the app, help information, and find out for sure for yourself. But um, that's from my experience and a friend's experience. Okay. So please be safe out here. You know, it's great to be making money. It's great these apps exist, allow people to make extra money or to make a full time income or full time living. But please be safe, value your safety. Do not assume that if you cooperate with a criminal that has a weapon up to you, that they are going to let you off the hook. Too many times they don't. Your life matters. All right, peace. Let me leave you guys with a beautiful view before I roll out. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Isn't that beautiful? Out here getting some exercise. All right, peace out, you guys. Share this with anybody who you know does um, delivery or rideshare driving for their safety.